Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and this is a pretty interesting video for the second channel. We are going to an event. We've got John Jenks himself in front of us in the baby Raptor, as you guys can see. And yeah, we're just going to look at a bunch of cool accessories. Maybe some of these accessories will be added to the Raptor in the near future. Who knows? Maybe even the Wrangler too, because we don't really have anything on the Wrangler at this point. But before we get into the video, as always, if you want to save time and money, especially when we have all this economic uncertainty, right, on your next car purchase, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into the video. Well, we have officially made it over, and we can see the hood of the baby Raptor right over there. And so yeah, it'll be interesting to see what's inside. I don't have the exact specifications for the modifications on a lot of these vehicles. I can just kind of tell you what's happening there visually. So this one has light bars and some light pods from Rigid at the top. Other than that, most of the rest of this Bronco is stock, except you guys can see here we've got aftermarket fender flares. Now these are supposed to help mitigate like rocks popping up and hitting the body. That's why the fender flares are shaped that way. Notice that you got that piece there on the side. But I thought those were pretty interesting in terms of the shape. And then you got a rack there at the top, which obviously would help out with, you know, hauling gear and everything if you're going to do some overlanding with the Bronco. And this is a two-door wild track. Now, the coolest thing about this Bronco, in my personal opinion, is the mileage on it. So the owner got this like in December and already has over 24,000 miles on it. Just crazy. I'm sure this is going to become like the highest mileage Bronco pretty soon with just how fast they're racking up. Now, this other one is the ARB Bronco. And you can see it's got a bunch of cool stuff. So you got some storage here in the back that you can lock. So like you could, I mean, you can see all the stuff you can throw in there. But so it's cool that you've got that storage, and then this also comes with an air compressor and a refrigerator. You can also do a refrigerator build in it. So there's just a lot of stuff with this Bronco that's cool. It's, again, big overlanding build. And then notice the rear bumper here. So it still has the parking sensors, which is cool. And then you got like the recovery hooks there on the back as well. And then you guys can see here with the fender flares right there. You can see the difference. Now this one has the really aggressive like rock sliders, so that you can actually like lean on them. Notice it says ARB edition. And then you got more rigid lights. And the cool thing about this specific Bronco is this is actually one of the test Broncos that Ford had. So this is like super pre-production as well. And then notice it also has the awning. Again, overland build, which is really cool actually. I love just like all of the functionality that it has. And then the last thing you guys will notice here is that we've got the aftermarket front bumper as well. Kind of gives it a more aggressive look. Has a light bar on top of that. And then you guys notice on that table I walked by something that was actually a fridge that you can put in the Bronco. And then you can see the skid plate underneath. And then here's a Ranger build. This thing is pretty awesome. It's the Great West Fad. And you guys can see just how aggressive everything is. And notice with the fog lights there, you got a bunch of lights on this. Another rigid light bar. Notice everyone uses rigid, right? Got the skid plate underneath, which kind of gives it a like Raptor appearance, which I thought was really cool actually. And then look at it from the side view, so you can see with those aggressive fender flares, and then notice with the wheels a little bit bigger, but you also have the BDS suspension lift, and you can see with the Fox shocks. So it would be pretty interesting to see how this truck drives, but it, you know, Rangers already drive really well, and so I imagine with the upgraded shocks and everything, it just drives even better. And then this has the exhaust too from Ford, which is pretty cool. And then notice there with the rear, I love the two-tone with this, how you've got like the black and the white too. And notice with the tonneau cover. And with those steps, you can actually take off the bottom, the step portion, and just have it be a rock rail, which is pretty cool. Now this last one is like the most tame build out of everything, basically. So you can see you've got the tires and wheels. And just a quick look at the suspension. But this truck's, I mean, again, there's a few things on it, but it's the most stock vehicle that I saw there. Has a lockbox though, which is pretty cool. And then it also has the same exhaust that the other Ranger has, But yeah, let me know which vehicle you guys liked the most. And obviously this gave me quite a few ideas. So we just finished the event and it was really interesting. I actually got to talk to someone from ARB and the Great West Fad. So I'm gonna include a link to both their websites in the description down below with today's video so you guys can browse their products. But we have some pretty interesting thoughts now for builds on multiple vehicles, including the Raptor and the Jeep Wrangler, and so let's kind of get into it. So I'm going to attempt to navigate and film at the same time, so this should be pretty exciting. But it was awesome talking to both companies. I'm not sure if anyone from the companies wants to be named, so I'm not going to name anyone just in case they don't want, yeah, anyways. But let's get into the build ideas and, you know, kind of some of the stuff that I talked about with some of these awesome people. So first off, with the Raptor, you guys know I've been talking about doing like a crazy Baja build with the truck. I did think for a second that I might want to do like an overland build, but I've kind of gone away from the overland build concept with the Raptor, and that's just because of the size of the truck. Fuel range is perfect. The truck is very capable, but with certain areas that I want to go to from an overlanding perspective, I wouldn't be able to fit with the Raptor just because of the width and because of the length. And so yeah, I've kind of like pushed that out and, you know, gone more towards the Baja side of things, which I think is more relatable for the Raptor because ultimately it was built to be a Baja type vehicle. And so what I've been thinking about doing is ditching the whole Shelby Raptor idea because, again, I can't turn this into a real Shelby Raptor because it's not the right spec. If you guys don't know, Shelby Raptors are built off of fully loaded Raptors. Mine is a fully loaded Raptor, but with the 35 package. Mine is the 37 package. So my truck has the wrong, basically, you know, frame setup because they do change things a little bit with the 37 package. And then I also have the wrong interior. So it, you know, they basically wouldn't want to certify it, if that makes sense. So I would have to make like a fake Shelby Raptor is the best way to put it. So if you guys don't know, there's a place called Fiberworks, and they basically build wide body kits for tons of different trucks. And they released one for the Gen 3, and I've been considering getting it because it would make the Gen 3 look so much cooler. Again, wide body kit on the Gen 3. So basically just widens the fenders on the truck and just makes it look like what the truck probably should have looked like from the factory, right? And so I've been considering getting that, and that again goes along with the Baja build side of things, and hopefully the camera's even on me. I'm kind of holding this weird. And then obviously chase rack, bumpers, all that kind of stuff. And so, you know, figuring that out, that was another thing that was kind of like talked about today for the Raptor. And then obviously, you know, like a light bar at the top of the chase rack, lights in the bumpers, and all that fun stuff, which would be really exciting overall. So that would kind of add to the Baja build. And then, you know, tire carrier and extra spare, you know, tires and wheels in the back as well. That would be kind of like another part of the build for the Raptor. And so you guys can kind of get the concept, right? Basically turning this into a wide body Raptor, wider than stock, and then, you know, getting all the stuff that the Shelby Raptor has, and then on top of that tuning it so that it has more power, more torque, all that fun stuff, so that we can, you know, I mean, that's quick, but we need quicker, that's for sure. So adding all that, right? And so I think that's pretty much everything for the Raptor. So I suppose we're gonna be testing out the Raptor's lane keeping right now. Obviously, you know, right, while we're filming, we're trying to keep things as safe as possible. Don't worry, I have a hand on the steering wheel. I am not driving without something on the steering wheel. But anyways, now let's talk about the Jeep Wrangler. So this is the vehicle that I think would be great to do an overland build on. Now, I'm not gonna go crazy all out, like massive tent and all that kind of stuff, but I did talk to a gentleman with ARB, and like I said, I don't know if anyone's mentioned by name, so I'm not going to do that. And we talked about doing a pretty fun build with the Wrangler. So front and rear bumpers, winch, light bars, you know, all the stuff that gives you, you know, added, you know, departure and approach angles, and, you know, just sturdier bumpers that can take bigger hits. And then, you know, more aggressive rock sliders. And you guys kind of saw some of the stuff in the video that I did the, you know, little voiceover with on some of the Broncos and stuff. And so, you know, kind of a similar kit to that. And then air compressor so I can air up and air down on the fly. Refrigerator so I can have some refrigerated goods while we're out in the wilderness as well. And then upgrading the shocks. I've talked about this quite a bit with the Wrangler, but doing a shock upgrade so that it rides smoother and so that it's just more capable off-road and on-road as well, frankly, so it's just a better daily driver vehicle. Because actually, when I get the Jeep back, I will be daily driving it. I still will drive the Raptor quite a bit, and the TRX every so often, but I'll mostly be daily driving the Wrangler, believe it or not. And so, you know, that, you know, upgraded shocks would help make it more daily drivable. And aside from that, maybe 37s as well. as part of the overland build so that it's, you know, I mean, it's a 392. It can handle 37s. That'd be fun. So, you know, just quite a few upgrades to make it so it's a little bit more capable off-road. And then obviously some added goodies to make it so that I could camp. And you guys are probably wondering, well, you didn't mention a tent or anything. And that's because I know that rooftop tents are cool, but I would rather just do a regular tent. And, you know, I know if Elise is watching this video, she's probably not going to agree. She's probably like, no, we need the nicest thing possible. And I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna go out in the wilderness, I want to experience the wilderness. I want to sleep on the freaking ground. So I probably would just do a traditional tent. Raptor, you gotta stay in the lane. I would probably just do a traditional tent. And by the way, I didn't go the lines. It just kind of wobbled a little bit. I gotta make sure to make that clear in video. But yeah, I think that that's the route to go and just store it in like the back seat or something, or in the trunk area. I'd probably have space there as well. But if there's anything else that I should add to the overland build on that, let me know. And then same with the Raptor, if there's anything else that I should add on that build, let me know on that too. And so overall, I am super grateful that I got to go to this event. It was kind of like a closed door event, so there wasn't like a massive amount of people. Like, I was able to talk to everyone there, which was, it was cool. It was like cool being able to talk to people and, you know, pick everyone's brain. And I learned a lot. So like, you know, obviously leaving this, I have like these cool build ideas, but even if I didn't have these cool build ideas, I still learned a lot about some of these really cool companies that, you know, there's stuff now that I have, you know, the ability to make videos on now because of the information I've learned, which is really cool. Like this video, for example, right? So yeah, really cool event. And if they do it in the future, I'm definitely going to be going because I want to see the stuff that they're putting forth, because a lot of it's really cool. So yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little short video thing for the second channel, and I'll see ya.